I got an email from the Social Security department with my yearly statement.
Okay.
So I thought, all right, I'm a young buck, but I'll open this up. Let me see what's inside this bad boy.
Uh-huh.
And it was pretty interesting to see how much money the government thinks I will be given when I'm the ripe age of 62 or 70. And I wanted to break this down because we get this question frequently on the show. People are asking, hey, when should I take Social Security? Will it even be there for me? Note on that part, there's actually a spot in the document where they know people are concerned about this. So hey, we want to give you confidence in your future and retirement. So click this PDF to show how we'll be there for you. Well, here was the rousing confidence booster. We know that at least until 2034, the money will be there. Yeah. And I was like, okay, 2034, that's 10 years from now. So 10 years from now, they're not going to have 100% of the funding to keep Social Security going.
And we know this.
And they encourage me by saying, hey, listen, even if nothing changes, we'll still be able to pay 80% of each benefit due. Because that's fair. Because I paid into this thing for my whole life for them to then discount it.
But keep in mind that the benefit was only at a portion of your...
Exactly.
So they're giving you 80% of what was only a 40% benefit to begin with.
So we're at $2.83 trillion in the trust funds as it stands today. And so that's why I encourage people, especially the younger generations, do not rely on this. This is icing on the cake. And I talked about this in my new book, Breaking Free from Broke, Jade. Can I tell you what I wrote?
Hit me.
Research from the Fed reveals 26% of non-retired Americans have $0 in any kind of retirement account.
Ooh.
That's 1 in 4 non-retired people. This is not great. And in research from Ramsey Solutions, 48% have less than 10 grand saved in retirement. So that's going to get you about, 3 months into retirement if you're lucky. So then people are going, well, Jade, at least I'll have Social Security. Well, we just showed you how that's not going to be enough to get by. Here's the real numbers. The average monthly benefit in 2023 from Social Security was around $1,700 a month. Try living on that, and you'll see why we call it social insecurity. That's approaching the poverty line. That's $1,700 a month. And by the way, that's the average, Jade. Some people get less than $900 a month.
Wow.
And here's the last stat. 52% of workers have never stopped to calculate how much money they'll even need in retirement.
So
half of them are just YOLOing and fingers crossed, head in the sand.
Yet again,
we'll let someone else worry about it.
Yet again, assuming that the government will be there to handle them financially. Listen, I will tell anybody who will listen, if you want to be thriving, during retirement years, not just surviving and scratching by. And then there's the scam. I'm going to just call it a scam, George, where it's like, okay, if I take Social Security early at 62, I'm only going to get it this much. So I'm going to wait till I'm fully aged, where I can get the full benefit. But if you wait even longer, you get more money.
This is what we need to talk about.
Yes. And we do need to talk about it because
I did the math for you.
I just talked with I think it was CNBC. I was talking to them and I was saying, listen, if you don't have to, if you're going to work beyond 62, start taking Social Security.
Your boy is going to take that money out the day it's available at 62.
And invest it. George, give him the math.
Okay, I crunched the numbers for you because I'm a nerd and I needed the numbers. So at age 62, if I took out my benefit and I started getting that every month and I invested that whole portion, let's just say into a taxable brokerage account, not even in a retirement account, and let's assume 10% rate of return.
Okay.
From age 62 to age 80, starting from $0 in this account, I would have $1.45 million.
Wow.
Just from extra money that I took immediately when I could take it, right?
Yes.
Now, if I wait till 70, of course, people go, well, George, you're going to have, a lot more money coming in from Social Security every month.
Right.
Yeah, but I also lost out on 8 years of compound growth. So even investing the larger amount for 10 years from age 70 to age 80, at age 80, I now have $921,000 in that account.
Listen.
So that's a difference. Get this. Because I took Social Security as soon as I could and invested it instead of waiting till 70, it's a difference of over $500,000.
Guys.
To my net worth and to what I can pass on to my grandchildren.
What I want to say, because George, you laid that out perfectly, but I know there's still people who feel this weird sense of fear about even considering that as an option. It's like, well, the government's giving me that money. It's for my retirement. I'm like, number one, the government's not giving you anything. That was your money that you paid in. And you're only getting a portion of it back. Let's be clear about that.
The government doesn't gift anything. It's just redistributing all of our money.
Yeah, you're getting back your money. You gave it to them and they invested it poorly at like a 2.2% return. And now that's part of the reason here that we're not having enough to fund everything. They're giving your money back to you so you can take it and do whatever you want with it. And what George is suggesting and what I'm suggesting is invest it. Invest it in something that gets better than a 2.2% return, because at the end of the day, they were only going to provide 40% of the lifestyle you've been used to living. And
you can't rely
after
on this.
After 2034, that 40% goes down 80%. That's
this is not
crazy.
Okay.
That's critical.
This is why it's called social insecurity. Get this camera on me right now. Here's the deal, America. Go fund yourself. I said it. Live on the Ramsey Show. Do not rely on the government to take care of you with this terrible plan, especially those that are younger, because it may not even be around. And if it is, it's going to be pennies compared to what your parents got and their pensions and all these wonderful ways they were able to just not save for retirement. Yeah. But it's going to be on us, Jade. And that's why we tell people, invest early.
That's right.
Get out of debt. Get the emergency fund. Get to investing. Compound interest is your best friend. And if you just do the simple thing, be the tortoise instead of the hare.
That's right.
Avoid the crypto and, my buddy said I need to get an annuity and a whole life insurance policy, and I saw this rapper on his TikTok video said this is what the wealthy do. Just invest in your 401k. I promise it's not a scam. 80% of the millionaires we studied said the 401k was the number one vehicle.
Yeah.
Your retirement employer plan. It is so boring, and yet it works when you just invest in mutual funds over time. The S&P 500, the overall stock market has returned 10 to 12% since its inception.
It's almost like you boil it down to just these. If you can, in the course of your lifespan, we strike out when we're 18, 20, and most of us are going to work until we're 65, God willing, maybe even 70 if you want to. But if you can do three things, if you can just pay off your debt and live a debt-free lifestyle, if you can, and so that you're entering retirement without consumer debt, then if you can do one better and invest monthly, regularly when the time comes, so you've made it a habit of investing, and if you can enter in retirement without a home mortgage, like 3 goals you have in life, if you can do that, you are golden. And when you do that, George, you don't need as much of a nest egg. If you can enter into retirement without consumer debt and without mortgage debt, suddenly this need to have all this giant money, you're like, okay, I've eliminated so much of the payment, so much of what's needed that you needed before that. You don't need to have, this.
When you decrease your risk, you increase your peace.
That's right.
It's that simple. And so when you do that, and luckily for my wife and I, we decided to do that early. We thought, what would it be like in our 30s to have no mortgage payment, to be investing for a future, now bringing our daughter into this world?
Yeah.
It's just a different way to live. We're not as worried about inflation and what if there's a crash and what if the pandemic. We just get to live our life with peace.
That's right.
Because we don't have payments. And that's what I want for everyone out there. And investing consistently, everyone's arguing about net worth and what your home equity. And I'm going, listen, I'm not touching this money. We're fine. We got margin in our day-to-day life until I'm 62 and tap into Social Security and in those investment accounts. And Lord willing, we won't need much of it.
Yeah. What we're saying is a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And you can't do that if Social Security was your only out.
That's it.
Like you just stopped and said, okay, I'm done making money. I have no assets and Social Security is there. You can't leave anybody to anything to anybody like that.
Do not rely on your kids. We take enough calls in the show where relationships are destroyed because parents are relying on the kids are relying on the parents. They didn't communicate. They didn't invest for retirement. And they're calling us at 65 going, we have nothing saved. What do we do? Get a time machine. I mean, there's not a lot you can do. You can get out of debt.
But folks can break the cycle today. There are people who can start breaking that cycle today. Be one of those people.
Wealth gained hastily will dwindle, but whoever gathers little by little will increase it.
Hey.
Be the tortoise. Be a crock pot in a world full of microwaves, my friends.
Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
Producer James sent us this article that has to do with work, and I wanted your hot take on this, Ken. Here's the headline from Yahoo.
Hot take.
Here's the headline. Should I take a lunch break at work? 1 in 4 Gen Z employees worry leaving their desks to eat is a bad look to the higher-ups. Here's why that's nonsense. So it goes on to explain, hopefully something close to our take.
Let me answer the question. Yes, you should take a lunch break. If you are in a place where you taking a lunch break is actually frowned upon. I don't mean like in your head, and this data is saying that a lot of Gen Z workers are worried that it looks bad. Well, there's a difference between I'm worried, I'm manifesting this thought that's not true, and it actually being true. So if, George, you are working at a place where your leader is frowning upon it, making passive-aggressive comments about you taking a lunch hour, you shouldn't be there much longer. Find you another place, and here's why. The data bears out that you're not actually more productive. You may think you're getting more done, but it's going to end up being a negative for you by not getting up from your desk. And a lot of these kids, I looked at the article, a lot of these young people are eating at their desk.
They're called desktop diners.
Desktop diners.
It's a fun little nickname.
We got a name for everything. First it was quiet quitting. Now we got desktop diners. I think it's good for your mental health. It's good for your physical health to get up, change locations. You know, there's all kinds of data about walking for 10 to 15 minutes before you have a big meeting. I've talked about that on the Ken Coleman Show. You know, it's a creative release. It allows you to kind of get some perspective. And so anyway, the lunch break is the same idea. I have several friends here in the building that they go work out during lunch. Damon Gald, my fearless brand leader, works out during lunch.
And it shows.
It shows. And, you know, in multiple ways. So, you know, I do think that there's something to that. And I'm calling myself out on this because sometimes I go without lunch.
You're known to do that.
I'm known to do that.
That has a cool name too, Ken. It's called fasting now. I'm intermittent fasting.
That's what I tell people.
It's real trendy.
What it really is that I have poor planning and, you know, I don't have time, but I need to make time. But now, for me, I keep my energy up during that time. But for someone every day to be sitting there feeling like I can't leave my desk or else someone's going to fire me or they're going to think poorly of me, I'm telling you something, young people, you've got to get some facts to support that. And if you don't have any facts, you need to get over that and just be responsible. Be responsible.
Well, and the report that this study talks about found that stopping to eat and taking mental breaks can prevent burnout, especially in the context of the extra stressful times workers have faced over the past few years. And so if you think you're being more productive, you're actually being less productive, and you're on your way to burnout if you can't take that break.
That's right. Your mind needs a break. You know, your body needs the break. It's get up, you know. By the way, if I'm a young professional, if I'm going to eat out every day, and some of you need to not be eating out, you need to pack your lunch and go to a local park. But you know what I'm trying to do? I'm making phone calls to people I want to connect with. I'm eating lunch with people I want to connect with. I'm using that time to grow professionally, but I'm away from my desk.
Absolutely. And it's actually discouraged here at Ramsey. If we see a team member eating at their desk, we're going, hey, what's going on here? We have got a whole cafeteria where we can connect with team members, and occasionally you'll have a lunch meeting or something like that.
By the way, no one else wants to smell your tuna fish sandwich for the rest of the afternoon.
Calling that out.
Can we just let's be real practical for a moment?
Especially in the microwave.
Oh, yeah.
We got to avoid microwave fish in 2023.
If you want to win professionally, don't bring fish to the office cafeteria.
Not the advice we thought we'd hear on the show, but it's the advice we got.
Sometimes it just presents itself and you have to give it.
That's perfect.
Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
I found this new dating app. Actually, my husband sent this to me.
I'm a little concerned as to why Sam is sending you information on dating apps, but I'm going to keep that between you two. I kid. Sam's a good friend. He's out there in the lobby.
To clarify, sometimes he'll send me things that he thinks people will want to hear about on the show.
Sam, you know I love you. I got you, Sam. I got your back. He's a good man.
So it says the new dating app, there's a new dating app that only matches singles who have good credit scores.
Come on.
And it's kind of funny because, like, we've talked about this before about when you're dating and, like, when's a good time to bring up financial stuff and,
that's fair.
What are your barriers to entry? You know what I mean? Like, what does somebody have to have the minimum on the table for you to be going forward? So they're taking the step
of, we're going to throw a filter in here.
Yes. Listen, it says, just in time for Valentine's Day, the app is called Score.
Now, that makes me a little uncomfortable.
A new app and a website for the financially minded. It hopes to attract people with good to excellent credit scores who know the importance of monitoring their finances.
Okay.
No one with a credit score less than 675 is allowed to join.
No way.
675 is table stakes.
So they have to submit their like credit report to
yes.
get. Wow.
Yes. Of course, an 850 is considered perfect, and like very few people get in at that point. But yeah, you have to have at least a 675. So score. There's more to it than this, and I think it's worth talking about.
They know what they're doing with that.
Of course, like
yeah. All right, it's a dating app.
It's a little Kinyu but we don't have to talk about that.
It is a Kinyu. It is.
All right. Score is the creation of another company. They're called the Neon Money Club. It's a company, Black owned, and they partnered with American Express to create not only this app, but this is maybe the other part that's worth talking about. It's its own credit card. It's called,
of course,
the Cream Card.
Oh, now I got questions.
That's a Wu-Tang reference, Ken.
It is?
Cream, get the money. Dollar bill.
This is why I don't know. And I didn't get it. I'm not a big Wu-Tang
Clan
guy.
Ken?
I need to get caught up. I need to go back and refresh myself on the Wu-Tang.
Yeah. I mean, when I look at you, you scream somebody who would know all the Wu-Tang songs.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You're right.
This card.
It's called Cream?
It's called the Cream Card, and it lets card holders.
I like cream corn.
Invest in the stock market using the points they earn.
So it's a game. They are now setting you up. It's under the guise of responsible dating, all to get a credit card. Am I drawing the lines correctly?
What I'm thinking is happening here is we're all people who want to build our credit. And so I'm going to find somebody on the Score app, and I'm going to take them to dinner, and I'm going to use my Cream Card to buy us filet mignon and Dom Perignon. And it's okay if I spend more than I can afford because I can take the points and invest them into stocks.
I have so many thoughts that I feel like James Childs, our fearless producer, is sitting on my shoulder right now saying, careful. I have many thoughts about this.
It's not good.
I'm going to go to a restaurant with my Score date and drop my Cream Card on the table.
And she's going to go, ooh la la, like he has the card.
I just don't know, man. This is garbage. This is a game. So let me say this. You tell me wrong. Feels like we're in the Matrix again. They are gaming people. Well, literally.
It's just terrible. I'm like, wait a minute. So you're going to spend more money. Let's just put this in like
Is this appealing
real
only
terms.
to the African-American community?
I hope it's not appealing to any community. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think that
I know you don't, but I'm saying this feels like this is a real play.
Well, let's real talk for a minute, Ken. What I think about stuff like this is just Jade talking. What I truly think about situations like this is I think that at their core, they think they're helping people and they want to help people. And they're thinking they think the way we help people is to help them build their credit score, because if people can have access to credit, they can have access to more. That's what a lot of people believe. Whereas here, like our rhetoric on that is completely different, obviously. Yeah. And I think that they do believe if we can offer this to people, we're doing them a service. And I don't.
I think these are slimy credit card people, because the whole point of the app is to lead you up the ladder to the credit card. I'm just telling you.
But think about it. I don't know what the point system is.
They don't care about dating. They don't care about marriage.
But they're thinking we're going to bring couples together who are like-minded, who are going on a financial journey together, who are going to build their empire together, right? And I'm like, you can't do that based on credit and debt. Because think about it.
100%.
If you say, all right, in a normal life, if I was spending cash, I'd spend $100, right? But if you're like, listen, you don't get any points until you spend $150, then you spend $50 more. And then you're like, okay, great. I spent $50 more, and now I got 30 cream points, and I can invest that $30. I'm like, what are you doing?
This is a sign of the apocalypse when we're trying to get cream points. It's like society is done. All right, now I got an idea. I just got an idea right now. What if we have a program that it's a dating app, and it only allows people in that are debt free?
Listen, that would be the app for me.
No debit card, no credit card. It's just, you know what? You want to find people who are like-minded with you with money? Money problems is one of the biggest causes of divorce. We need a dating app. You and George need to get on that, and it's only for people who are debt-free and you have zero credit score because you have no debt. Now, this would change society.
It would change society. I have some real thoughts. I can't share them, though. I feel like you're narrowing the pool a lot.
Yeah. You want to narrow the pool to find the right person.
Yes, but
small pool for the long game.
Yes, but in many ways, Love Goggles can be
Love
very
goggles.
helpful. Yes, love goggles. Like when you meet someone.
I'm lost
and
right now.
I don't know. I'm going to get you where I'm going.
Okay.
When I met Sam Warshaw, I didn't know how much debt he had, but I'm like, this guy's a snack. So I'm like, let's go forward. And by the time I found out how much debt he had, my love goggles didn't care. So he wouldn't have got into the app. And maybe instead I would have been matched with some Poindexter who's
you're right.
maybe not as good looking.
All right, I'm being a little altruistic, but I'm just saying you want to be around people, that you want to have no money problems. You want to find girls. You want to find guys that got no debt. That's just it's an app idea. This whole segment's hysterical.
Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.
Brought to you by CHM, a biblically based alternative to health insurance. Learn more at chministries.org/budget.
So my question is, I am $230,000 in debt. With me and my husband are, and
say it again. Sorry, what was the number? 234.
$234,368.58.
Perfect.
There you go.
You know your numbers. That's a start.
Yes. I follow the Every Dollar app, and I go see my family twice a year in Texas. And I feel guilty if I do because I'm trying to pay off my debt, but I feel guilty if I don't because my kids want to see my family. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to figure out how to get out of that guilt thing. We put a lot towards our debt every month. We put between $2,000 to $5,000 towards it every month.
That's great.
My husband makes a decent amount. So is it okay that I go see them, or
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, the thing with these kind of scenarios, I never say is it okay, yes or no, to go see family. I think it's just
not a moral issue.
No, it's just how fast do we want to get out of debt? I mean, how much money are you guys spending on these trips? Like one trip to see your family, how much would that be? $5,000, $2,000, $1,000?
Month at a time, like $1,000.
$1,000?
The most.
Okay. And you're doing that twice a year. So we're talking $2,000 to $3,000 a year.
And you're not going into debt for these trips?
No, I put it in my budget. I do the Every Dollar app. I put it in my budget to plan it out for that trip.
Yeah.
And I just pay a little less on my debt that month.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's one of these things with any level of, and I would probably put this in the category of a luxury, because is there anyone sick? Is there oh my gosh, we're going to go visit.
We only don't know how many more years we have with grandma, or is it just that this is a tradition? We always go see them for these holidays.
It's more of I miss my family. I get homesick, and I like to go see them.
Yeah, which is totally fine. So I think it's one of these things. If you and your husband agree that $2,000 a year is going to put us back, 2 months probably in a debt payoff in general, is that trade-off worth it? And I mean, I would probably say, yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? I don't know. We've said, if people are getting married out of state, or there's a destination wedding, or there's a funeral, right? There's reasons to travel, and it's usually for more of a celebration or a event that is once in a, something is happening.
Yeah. Can they come to you, or are they too old?
They come to us twice a year as well. So we see each other 4 times a year, but they come to us and then we come to them. Last year, we didn't go see them at all.
Because why?
Last year, but this year.
Why didn't you go last year at all?
We were opening a business, and I had to really focus on that last year. And so it was very hard on our mental capacity. And I just had a newborn son.
Okay. Yeah.
So
okay. Okay. So Robin, I feel like you guys are very detail oriented. You know your numbers really well. When do you think you guys are going to be completely debt free? And does the 234 include your mortgage, or is that all consumer?
That is all consumer. I also have a mortgage of $430,000.
Okay. And how much are you guys making a year?
So my husband makes between $15,000 and $20,000 a month.
Okay.
About
Why can you only put $2,000 a month towards your debt? Now I'm mad.
No, she said 5,000. 2,000 to 5,000. She said 5,000.
Yeah, but he's making 20. Why do you guys have $15,000 of expenses every month?
Well, we have a pretty high mortgage, and then my son is in school, which that is about to change. So that number will go up. That number's going to go down because he's about to be in pre-K.
How much is the mortgage a month?
$3,500 a month.
Okay. And how much is the school a month?
$1,500 a month.
Okay. So there's $10,000 left, Robin.
At least.
Where is that?
Then,
and $5,000 we'll say is going to the debt. So they're living on $5,000.
Yeah,
George isn't happy. Robin, George
here's
is
why I'm
not
at.
happy.
That's just the
It's going to
extra.
take you
That
guys
was just
6
the
years
extra
to get
towards
out
the
of debt. Do you hear that? It's going to take you
Yeah,
5 or
so-
6 years
and
at this
that's
rate.
That's at the minimum. So I calculated everything to the minimum, and then anything extra goes straight towards the debt. Like this month, we put $7,000 towards our debt.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so then they're living on
So
$3,000.
we
But
put
can I
all
do the math for
extra.
you?
I try to.
Average debt payoff for someone following the steps with gazelle intensity is 18 to 24 months. Now, you guys have a lot of consumer debt, so that's just the average. So you guys might lean to 2.5 years, 3 years, but that still means you need to be putting $7,000 to $10,000 per month consistently towards this debt to knock it out in 2 to 3 years. And I want that to be like come hell or high water, where you're putting $7,000 to $10,000 a month. Do you understand?
That is our plan. Yes. But during the summer months, my husband doesn't get as much extra work, so he works 2 full-time jobs, and then he's a wedding photographer, and he does a bunch of side gigs and makes him a lot of money. But during the summer, that slows down, so I lowered the amount that we put towards the debt because we are making the minimum of $15,000 at that point.
Okay. But do you see what I'm saying? I want you to have a fire, and right now I feel like you guys are fairly comfortable. The way you're talking and the lifestyle, I want you to cut this down to nothing. You can still do the trip. The trip is not what's causing this.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of other leaks happening as well, and that's where this budget will reveal it to you very quickly. Hey, we made $20,000 this month. Where did it all go?
But you're doing the $every budget, right?
Yes.
So you're seeing
a lot
it.
of it recently has been going to the business.
Okay, and
Is
what's
the
the
business
business?
profitable?
We're just now starting to make break even.
Okay, what's the trajectory? Is this thing going to be making money in the next 2 months?
It's a franchise, and I'm hoping it will, but we are currently breaking even.
How much of this debt is tied to the business?
None of that. None of it. We have.
How much of it is cars?
This is only $40,000.
Only? I don't know what part of town
I
you
know, that
grew up
seems
in,
like
but that's a lot of debt.
It's a lot, but we have really good interest rates. We pay $500 per car, and
You're so
$500
lucky Rachel Cruz is here to be good cop.
Robin, you're
Robin, I'm just telling you right now, call me back when you're serious and you actually want to get out of this mess, not when you want to tell me you have a great interest rate on your debt. I mean, you guys make
that's the mindset I'm trying to get out
$250,000
of.
a year. Do you understand how insane this is?
Yes, I do. That is why I am.
How much is that? Hey, Robin, how much could you get for the car right now? If you Kelly Blue booked it, what do you think? Have you Kelly Blue booked it? Probably not.
I have actually. For my car, I would get about 10, and I owe 20 on it. For my husband's car, I would get about 20, and he owes 21 on it.
Wait, hold on. The $40,000 car. Say that again. You would only get 20 for it?
For my car, I would get about 10 on my car.
And you owe $40,000 on it?
$20,000.
Oh,
No,
okay. I hear you. Okay.
There's 2 cars.
Hear you.
For 20 each.
Hear you. Okay, so 10 for yours, and then what would he?
And 20 for his.
And 20
he
for
has
his.
21 on his.
Okay. So the way, you could look at this is the 40,000, which you'd have to put 10 because you're underwater 10. But that's $30,000, which, George, to your math of what you're saying, would be, the way she's going at $5,000 a month, you would save 6 months by just selling the cars. You could save 6 months of being in debt. So let's do that, Robin. And that would show George that you are serious.
I need some skin in the game.
Robin, if y'all sold these cars
then I'd know
in
you're
the
serious.
next 10 days, then you're serious. Okay. That would be like, yes, we are scorched earth. We are doing anything and everything to get out of debt. And that would be the move to make. That's saving 6 months of your time of being in debt. It's just from cars. So that has to be your mindset. That's what, George, how you feeling? You okay over there?
I'm doing better.
You
Still
okay?
a little
Breathe,
heated.
George, breathe. Just breathe. Take some deep breaths, George. So that's, Robin, that's the kind of stuff we're talking about. And then from there, and if you can get out of this franchise, it's feeling like it's sucking up money, and your husband's already working like 4 jobs, what you're saying. So you guys have a lot of busyness and clutter in your life. So I would simplify everything and live a peaceful life. CHM isn't health insurance. It's a health cost-sharing ministry. Check it out for yourself at chministries.org/budget.
Brought to you by Refi. Refinance your defaulted private student loans today at yrefi.com/Ramsey.
All right, today's question comes from Jackie in Massachusetts. She says, everywhere I go these days, there's a tipping screen now at the end of the purchase. For the average person who's not in baby step 7, when is it appropriate to leave a tip at coffee shops and restaurants versus not giving one? That's actually a really good question. I mean, I definitely feel like since COVID, since the pandemic, tipping has kind of gone into the stratosphere, I think. And there's been some tipping fatigue out there. I definitely think whenever you're in a restaurant situation where you're sitting down, you're placing an order, there's somebody attending to your table, you should always tip. And I think that you should tip between 18 to 20%. That's just me. I'm a 22% tipper. That's Jade's personal thing, but you need to at least be, I think, 18 at those places. Now there are, I think also anything that's really a close, I'm going to call it a closely felt service, right? So somebody who's cutting your hair, someone who's doing your nails, or like involved in your bodily person while they're doing a service. I think that those people also should be tipped. Again, 15% is a great place to start on that. Things that I don't tip for, or, sometimes it's like, it just depends on if it's really great, would be, I don't know, like a barista service, something like that. It's like, I got my coffee. If it was really good and I know the person and it's like always the same guy or something, I might tip them a little bit. Grocery delivery, if it's raining out, always tip them. What about you, Dave? I'm just trying to think, what do you not tip for? I'm trying to think what I don't tip for. I'm a tipper though. I lean heavily into tipping.
For me, tipping falls in the bucket with generosity.
Yeah, I think me too.
And so I overdo it to the point that my wife cringes.
Well, we have it on our budget as a line item.
Yeah, she's like, you don't need to leave that much. It wasn't that good. And I'm like, yeah, well, they don't care if it's that good. And, here's the thing. The kitchen might have screwed up, not the poor waitress.
That's right. No, please don't take it out on the waitress.
Yeah, so
rarely.
Sometimes the waitress is an idiot, too. That happens.
It does,
but in my case, I don't really have a choice because they're going to have a Dave Ramsey story. It might as well be a good one.
That's true. You're a known fellow.
I'm a known felon. So I have to
fellow.
that too. And so I have to leave a tip even when I don't want to. But I want to. I like doing that. But the times that I walk up to the counter and someone spins an iPad at me and I leave a tip is precisely zero. I do not tip there ever. That is not a tippable.
Well, if I know that person is going to be touching my food.
There's a tip jar on the counter at the gas station, and I just walked in to pay for my gas. No, I'm not tipping. You can flip that screen at me all you want. I'm not tipping.
Yeah.
No, you didn't do anything. And so, sorry, it's not anything.
Yeah.
But I over tip on everything else. Here's one where people don't tip, and I think this is horrible. 100% of the time I stay in a hotel, I pinch a 20 and I leave it in a standing on the end of the bed when I leave every day.
The maid service, yeah.
Every day the maid gets tipped. And my wife is like, well, they didn't even do turn down service. Oh my God, would you quit with this already?
So you don't wait till the end. You do it at the end of each day?
Every day.
I like that.
Every day. And so, and you know what? I never have a problem with the room either.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Ever. And the one that drives me real crazy, I saw this happen the other day. This guy pulled up in it's like a $130,000 Mercedes. And he's parking a car with a valet, and it's raining, and he gives this kid $5.
Stop it. I don't like that.
And I'm like, no, this is just dumb. You just gave him the keys to your $130,000 car, Ferris Bueller.
Man, he's going to mess with the seats. Man. He's going to change all the stations.
And you gave him $5? Yeah. Are you moron? I mean, come on. So, there's certain, I've tipped valets $50.
You better tip the valet.
But you know what? That car's sitting right there when I come out too. They didn't even park it. It's just sitting there. They didn't even touch it. And so that's good. I like that. So that's good service goes with the good tip. So yeah, and I
listen, I used to work in food service.
And when I pull up with the valets, in some cases, I almost always hit them on the front end.
Yeah.
And then another person brings the car back.
And get them too.
And so, sometimes I do, but sometimes I go, hey, the other guy, I hit the other guy on the front end. He goes, oh, I heard about it. So,
okay. Yeah, they usually
at least
tip share anyway.
They knew what was happening. So you want to do that. But that's a reputation thing, and it's a generosity thing. But this thing of you just poured some coffee at Starbucks and you spin the thing around, face it in my...
Negatory.
I don't buy coffee at Starbucks. Oh, why am I saying that?
But I'm saying that
I've
type
never
of scenario,
I haven't been in a Starbucks in 15 years, so what am I saying? But I mean, coffee shop. If I went into a coffee shop and they pour me a cup of coffee and they hand it across the counter.
Quick serve.
No, thank
not
you.
It.
You know, I don't tip Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's not what I'm doing. I'm driving through. You're handing me the Jesus chicken out, and I'm gone. I mean,
now, I do feel like if you can't, like when you go to actual restaurants, I feel like if you can't afford to leave a nice tip,
if you can't afford tip, you shouldn't go.
You can't go, yeah.
No, that's for sure, because those people are working for tips.
They're working hard, yeah.
And a lot of them aren't being paid well unless they're tipped. And so...
And have a nice demeanor towards them, too, because listen, back in the day when I worked at Applebee's, I don't want to tell you some of the things I saw back there when people were when tables were acting up.
Payback's hell on that.
Oh, man, you don't want to know.
You don't want to know what happened to your food before it came out. But
I never did anything. I would never do something like that.
No, I don't think you would.
I never would.
Well, it would be against your religion to mess up food. Because you like food.
I love food. I love people. Even if somebody's wilding out, I still would not do some of the things that I have witnessed.
No. But I'll tell you the other one. You know what we used to do? Because one of the things everybody door dashes and whatever to get out of debt. That's their get out of debt side hustle. But it used to be that we'd all just go, hey, go deliver pizzas. And so we had a thing for a long time on this show, and we could start it again right now. That says, okay, if DoorDash or if Domino's or Marco's or Pizza Hut or whoever shows up at your door with a pizza, and you say, how are you doing? And they say, better than I deserve.
Oh, that's great.
That's code for, I'm working this job to get out of debt. You got to double their tip.
I love that.
You got to double their tip.
I love that.
And so, because they're trying to get out of debt, and you're now helping them. They're out here hustling. They're bringing you food in the rain while you're sitting on your butt. So double their tip.
Man, and give it to them in cash. Like if I can catch the DoorDash person, like over the holidays, you're ordering food and people are hanging out.
Always do
if you
cash.
can catch them at the door and give them cash,
I always do cash. Yeah, I do. I always do cash.
Yeah, because if somebody's working Christmas Eve,
on that kind of thing, or valets, that kind of. Now, if I'm in a fine dining restaurant, I'm going to pay it part of the bill.
Yeah, for sure.
With the debit card, and they always make fun of me. Is this a debit card? Yeah. Well, is this your tip? Yeah. So we'll see how this works. But yeah. Anyway, absolutely. It's a kindness. It's an exchange. But this spin the iPad around is not an exchange.
Yeah.
And I got zero obligations. If I picked up some queso at the Mexican restaurant to take to Rachel's house for Father's Day Sunday night, and I did not tip them. They had the little queso at the door.
Yeah.
I paid them at the queso. They did not serve my table.
You drove? Yeah,
I
drove and got
up,
it.
I walked in the rain, got the queso, got in the truck, went to Rachel's house. Yeah. No, we don't tip that.
No, I don't tip that.
No.
Now, if they bring it, there's one restaurant I go to where they'll bring it out to the car, to your door. And I'm like, I do tip that one because I'm like, you packed it up and you brought it out to me. I did drive. That one I'll tip. That one's up to your discretion.
Yeah, you can hit in the middle there. But this thing of, it's kind of like, it's manipulative.
Well, you have
the spinning of the iPad is a manipulation.
Well, then they stand there and stare at you.
It's the other one is, do you want to give to the Wounded Pet Association or something?
Do your change
on
up?
$1
add the change
to your groceries. No, if I wanted to give to the Wounded Pet Association, I would have already given them money. Yeah. I'm not adding it to my grocery bill and you get the credit for the charity. No, so zero on those. I don't add $1 for the Blind Cat Society or whatever the heck it is that they put on there. It's just they come up with some crap, man. It's unbelievable. Or Blind Dog Society. I don't care. Whichever one you want. It doesn't matter to me. But yeah, just no. We're not. No.
Not even in 12 cents.
That's not a tip though. But it's a manipulation at checkout.
It is.
It's the same thing. It's still a manipulation at checkout, and it's nickel and diming you to death. And no, thank you. And I don't feel guilty. Why Refi refinances delinquent private student loans for struggling borrowers. Learn more at yrefy.com/Ramsey.
This clip has popped up, and it has to do with money. And so I thought I'd play it for you and get your reaction to it and talk about it.
I can't wait.
You ready?
Yes.
Let's see what he has to say.
People always say, like, money doesn't make you happy, but it makes me very happy. I mean, I like to have money.
I don't think it makes you happy. Look, money's good in that if you have some, it can take away a lot of stress that a lot of people have that don't.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm happy to say that I'm, you know, I have a lot of money. I mean, I don't think it makes you happy. I mean, it makes you happy. Look, money's good in that if you have some, it can take away a lot of stress that a lot of people have that don't. I mean, I'm happy to say that I'm, you know, I have a lot of money. I mean, I'm happy to say that I'm, you know, I have a lot of money. I mean, I'm happy to say that I'm, you know, I have a lot of money. I mean, I'm happy to say that I'm, you know, I have a lot of money. I mean, I'm happy to say that I'm, you know, I have a lot of money. I mean, I'm happy to say that I'm, you know, I have a lot of money. I mean, I'm happy to say that I'm, you know, I have a lot of money. I mean, I'm happy to say that I'm, you know, I have a lot of money. I mean, I'm happy to say that I'm, you know, I have a lot of money. I mean, I'm happy to say that I'm, you know, I have a lot of money. I mean, I'm happy to say that I'm, you know, I have a lot of money. I mean, I'm happy to say that I'm, you know, I have my rent's going to be paid. My kids are going to eat. Not everyone can say that. After that, you look at certain things you need. You look at certain things that are luxuries. I wouldn't say it buys you happiness, though. It can buy you access to things you may want. And then, like anybody, you also keep an eye on those things you want, because more options don't always make you happier.
That's good.
Dang, Matthew.
The way he says everything is just so cool.
Oh, it's just I could listen to his voice all day long.
He could have just said the ABCs, and I would have been like, that was brilliant.
I think
well
that's
done.
so smart.
But the content was rich.
It's a great point. It's a great point. Because there's one side of the coin that everyone's like, money doesn't make you happy. It's not important. And as Zig Ziglar, which this next generation has no clue who Zig Ziglar is.
Zig Ziglar, motivational speaker,
in
idol.
the 80s. But his quote, which I think is just so funny, is like, money's not everything, but it's right up there with oxygen. So like, there is a level where like, yeah, it doesn't necessarily bring you joy, but it brings you a level of peace, because you don't have stress about where your next meal's coming from. Are you going to have shelter? Even to the point that if, a family member gets sick and you have money in the bank to go buy a plane ticket to go see them, like, all of those things, it gives you the ability to live your life. So yeah, on one side, people are like, no, it doesn't make you happy. And I'm like, well, no, but it does, like he said, give you access. But on the other end, if that's the only thing you live for is the number in your checking account, you are going to live a pretty empty life.
Yes, I think chasing happiness through stuff is never going to end well, because we know that money and happiness, there's not always a correlation. There's folks in third world countries who have way more joy than most Americans do.
That's right.
And they don't have a lot of stuff, but they still have joy, which is the end result, I would hope, of happiness, which is longer lasting. It's not this fleeting thing of like, we went on vacation and it made us happy, and then we came back home and we were still miserable.
Right.
Because you go with you. And when you have debt in your life, studies have shown you're not sleeping as well. It has a physical weight on your body. And so I think that's kind of what's holding people back, is if you're broke and in debt, it's going to be harder to be happy.
Yep.
That's the correlation.
Yes. There's going to be more stress, more anxiety naturally, versus, yes, if you're debt free and have an emergency fund, you have money in the bank. That money is not correlating to, I have that dollar amount, so I'm automatically have a better life. It's, I have the ability to use it as a tool to better my life if or when I need it.
Yes. And our research team, we've done this state of personal finance study now for almost 2 years. And this is over 1,000 people, so it's statistically significant. We use a third party to do this. And here's some things that we found. Over 100 million Americans now say they're struggling or in crisis with their finances. Mm-hmm. So that's about 1 out of 3 people.
Yep.
50% of Americans say finances have had a negative impact on their fiancés. That's interesting.
And because of stress brought on by money, 41% of Americans report crying.
Oh my goodness!
At least once in the last 3 months. So that's a lot of stress.
That's literally a sad stat. Mm-hmm. That breaks my heart to hear that. And lastly, 41% have experienced a panic attack because of money at some point in their life.
Yep. So it has an effect on you. And that's what's crazy is, again, it's not just the financial effect. It's everything else. It's the emotional, the mental, the spiritual. I mean, there's so much that money affects in our lives. So it's not just numbers. And that's the one thing about math or about money that we talk about a lot on the show. It's not just about math. So you can argue interest rates and getting a loan and using, instead of paying it off, use that money to invest in the market. You'll make a better return. It's smarter to do. I mean, you can do math all day long, but that does not correlate to your mental, your spiritual, your physical health. I mean, all of that. And that money plays a role in all of that.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of people that watch these videos, Rachel, they always come from like celebrities who have a ton of money. Yeah, and they're always like, hey guys, I just want to let you know, money doesn't buy you happiness. And they're like, easy for you to say, dude.
I know, totally.
I would like to experience that. Yes. I want to have a lot of money so I can say that money doesn't matter.
Right.
And so I understand where they're coming from. There's this angst about it of like, you don't get to tell me that kind of thing. But there's so much truth in what Matthew McConaughey was saying. And what he really was pointing to is what we've been teaching for 30 years, which is financial peace.
Yep.
It's contentment with what you have. And that is what it's all about. And we teach, yes, build wealth and give, and that's great. But the end goal is not just that money's going to make you happy, so you should go get you some.
Yep.
The goal is get out of debt, have money in the bank so that you have peace and margin in your life to focus on what really matters.
That's right.
Which is your health, your career, your family, and yes, some of the stuff that money can buy. We want you to have nice stuff. Don't misunderstand. It's great to do that when you do it the right way.
That's right.
Intentionality.
Yeah, and money is just a tool. It's a tool to create a life that you love, right? And so that's part of what it's for. And it's not the end-all be-all in life, but you can use it to have access, like what he's saying, to have options, all of it. So, man, Matthew, just bringing the
thunder, Matthew.
Well done.
We love it.
Such a deep thinker.
He is. I respect that about him. Is that what you call him? Is that what he...
Matthew McConaughey.
When he was on your show, was he like, Rachel, you can call me MM.
Call me Eminem.
Call me Maddie. He wasn't on my show, Rachel. We should get him on Smart Money Happy Hour to talk about this.
Great.
Matthew McConaughey, if you're listening, I assume that you're a big fan. I know we were in your top Spotify podcast. Get in touch with our team. We'd love to have you on. But it's true, Rachel. Money magnifies. We've said that before. It just makes you more of what you are.
Yep.
So if you're a jerk and you're a miserable person, well, man, you're going to be a rich jerk. And if you're generous while you don't have much, you're only going to become wildly generous. We call those people philanthropists. And so that encourages me.
Yes.
And it can be different for you. If you're listening and you're feeling that stress, you're one of those people who has cried, who's had the panic attack, who's felt that lump in your throat, the knot in your stomach, you can have what we call financial peace. But it starts with deciding that enough is enough. We're going to make some changes in our life, do whatever it takes, draw the line in the sand to change our family tree and do something different.
Today's question comes from Linda in Colorado. She says this: my husband changed positions within his company and needs to return his company work truck. And we now need to buy a, quote, new truck. A lot of new trucks and used trucks are within a few $1,000s of each other. Sometimes used ones are almost the same as new. I have heard you say many times not to buy new because of the immediate depreciation of driving it off. But does this weird market skew that advice? My husband also reminded me that you said that if you have enough money, you should just buy what you want. Even though we are debt-free and have a $5 million assets and cash, I am still kind of a penny pincher and want to keep the truck at or under $30K. What advice can you give us regarding new or used? Oh, man, I love this question. You know, I get it. Like, I think sometimes you can look at the car market and you can think, okay, like, I want to do everything the Dave way. And especially with them, it sounds like they're well into baby step 7. You know, I think sometimes when you're in that, you just get used to that feeling of holding back and, you know, putting aside. But you know what? I think that you guys have earned the right, Linda, to go ahead and buy this truck. You've got $5 million in net worth. And we teach here that if your net worth is over $1 million, you have earned the right to purchase the car that you would like to drive. And not only a used vehicle, you could actually purchase it outright. Now, if that doesn't feel right for you, I think that's fine. But basically right now, I'm just giving you permission to go ahead and get the car or the truck in this case that you're wanting to get. Now,
you gave him permission to get the truck. She didn't want to.
No, that's true. She didn't want to, and they still might not.
She wanted us to tell him he can't buy a truck when he's got $5 million. Dude, buy whatever truck you want.
Buy the truck. And
seriously, that's ridiculous.
And she wants to keep it under $30K. I think.
No. You need to get a good truck.
Yeah, let him go ham.
A big truck, big expensive truck. You got $5 million. I mean, seriously. No, that's you drive like no one else. So later you can drive like no one else.
Yep.
And so that's the thing, and you're in great shape. It has nothing to do with the new market versus the used market. I don't need to give you a rationalization. The only rationalization for you buying a brand new freaking truck with $5 million is you want it, or in this case, he wants it. Mm-hmm. So buy the man a truck. That's what you do. That's why you do this. It's a small thing. Yeah, it's just if you listen, let's say he drives a $60,000 truck. Mm-hmm. All right, let's double her thing. Forgets to put insurance on it, doesn't set the parking brake, it rolls off the cliff.
Right.
So now instead of $5 million, they have $4 million.
It's a fraction, a teeny tiny fraction.
$940,000.
They're still rich.
Do it again tomorrow.
Well, I don't know about that.
It still doesn't matter. The point is, it doesn't matter.
That's right. It's a very small piece.
That's when you know you can afford it.
Yep.
It doesn't matter mathematically. When you don't do it is when you make $50,000 a year and you buy a $60,000 truck and you still got a student loan debt and 3 credit cards, and your $60,000 truck turns into $30,000 in value in 13 seconds, and then you scratch your head and wonder why you can't fund your kid's college fund because you're broke. See, that's stupid straight up.
Yeah.
Because the new market and the used market are close. Oh, shut up. You're broke. You don't need to buy a truck. That's what so the rationalization doesn't matter. It's the reasoning, and the reasoning's got to do with the ratios. So you're exactly right, Jade. Lady, you're sweet and you're kind, and your penny pitching ways is what got y'all here, but you need to enjoy the money too. I'll tell you one other thing you need to do. You need to turn up your generosity button about 3 notches.
That's it.
Crank it up a little more, and that helps you with your penny pinching.
That's so good.
When you're giving more, it also allows you to enjoy the money more in personal purchases without feeling like you've done something wrong.
Absolutely, because then again, you're playing that ratio game.
Exactly. Brought to you by the EveryDollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
Today's question comes from Sam in Michigan. Uncle Dave, I'm 37, married with no kids yet. My net worth is $1.1 million, $600 in portfolio, $500 in equity in my home, which is worth $900. I make about $200,000 a year, have no consumer debt, and have our 3-month emergency fund. I just got into hunting, and there's several shotguns and rifles I want, but the missus doesn't see why I need so many guns. Uncle Dave, being a man of great means with many guns, what is a fair ratio? He said, I'm also about to pull the trigger on a new Lund Rebel XL as my first fishing and hunting boat. It's $39,000 out the door. I'm paying cash for it, but would be pulling the money from my portfolio to do so. I feel it passes the burn it on the floor test. What is your take? Thanks so much for your time. This is a fun question.
Live like no one else, so later you get to live and give like no one else. Well done, Sam in Michigan.
Yeah.
That's fun. Sam, the only thing I'll tell you is that there seems to be a ratio that every time I get a gun, she gets a new expensive purse.
Tit for tat.
There seems to be a trade-off there. So that's the only thing I'll tell you. All I heard here was about you buying stuff. I didn't hear anything about her getting stuff. So I think there's some enjoyment with money that you're learning to do that is within reason. And it's not a certain number, but all kidding aside, it actually does generally cost me a purse depending on the gun, so or something else. But yeah, I'm gonna get one. It's like revenge spending, right?
Yeah, none of this has to do with money. This is just her feelings about him owning all of this, all these toys.
I can tell you, Sharon has exactly the same opinion. She has no need to understand why I need all these firearms, but she doesn't know about zombies.
That's right.
The zombie apocalypse. I mean, you have to be ready. So, no, seriously, dude, it's just a toy. It's just a thing. Whether you're collecting guns, whether you're collecting
whatever the hobby is,
whatever your hobby is, whatever the thing is you collect, whatever the thing you enjoy doing, hunting, boats, skiing, fishing, whatever. The trick is just to keep it in balance and that both of you have a say-so. So, and all joking aside, I still do talk to Sharon. We don't do any purchases around our place without both of us being in on it. I don't walk in and go, I just spent $8,000. I don't do that. I could, but it just doesn't. It's not how we got here. The way we got here is working together and both of us communicating and talking about it. And she doesn't go spend $8,000 on a whatever without talking to me. And, we do. But 99% of the time, it's like, yeah, sure. Because it fits the burn test. I can burn that much money in the middle of the floor. That means we can enjoy the item. It's not going to cause us financial trouble. We're not buying it for someone else. We quit doing that a long time ago.
Doing it with the right motive.
Yeah. So he's not buying these guns for someone else. He's buying them for him. So
is the key here, Dave doesn't have to value all the things Sharon values, and Sharon doesn't have to value all the things Dave values, but there's communication involved, and she goes, okay, it's in the budget, you're paying cash.
You're probably experiencing this around purchasing things for the new baby.
Oh, yes.
There are things that you don't understand. I don't, most men don't understand china cabinets.
I still don't.
We don't understand china that we don't use, and we don't understand an expensive cabinet to put it in.
We
None
just
of
use
this
paper
makes
plates.
sense to us.
If it was up to me, we just use paper plates. Yeah. Just throw them out.
See, there you go. And if it was up to her, he'd have a BB gun.
That's right.
So there you go. So, I mean, it's just, there's some things like you don't have to understand everything to see that your spouse gets joy from it and that it is a reasonable purchase within the thing. Now, where we do run into trouble is when someone buys a boat and puts it on payments. They got $60,000 in credit card debt and they want to buy an $8,000 shotgun. Now, that's childish.
That adds financial stress to the family.
Yeah, that's the opposite of what we're talking about. He's got $1 million net worth. He's 37 years old. So he can afford a shotgun, or she can afford a nice purse, or whatever the thing is that you're worried about there. The trick is when you get out of control with it. So you're just trying to do that. And I'm kidding around. I'm being snarky about it, but it's really no joke. There are things that I buy that Sharon agrees to, but has no understanding why I want them at all. And the same with her. I'm like, you want to do, what? I mean, she took a trip with a bunch of girls this summer, and I'm like, really? There? You want to go there? But I'm not going, so what do I care? She wanted to go.
It's her experience. Let her have it.
So that's the thing. So just hold things with an open hand. But the biggest glaring thing I see in this, Sam, is not whether you can afford to do it, is that you didn't mention a single thing that she gets to do while you're doing all these things. And you really do have to have somewhat of a balance. It's not tit for tat exactly, like $4,622 I get.
She gets to spend on a $39,000 purse.
It could happen, but yeah. So there you go. I mean, that you don't have to understand everything. She didn't have to understand everything. Can we do it and it doesn't affect our family negatively? And do we still have room in the budget to invest? Do we still have room in the budget to give? If this goes sideways, have I caused myself a problem? And none of that's here.
No.
Do you see it?
No. I mean, it looks good on paper. It's more the relational issue.
Yeah, you just left out that. I get called Uncle Dave twice in the email.
I like that.
That's pretty cool.
It's better than Grandpa Dave, right?
Papa Dave.
That's nice.
Yeah, that's what the grandkids call me.
Reserved for the grandkids.
That's not insulting.
Not for 37-year-old men.
Well, there you go.
You get uncle for that.
There you go. Yeah, I'll go with that. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Jake is with us. Jake's in Orlando, Florida. Hi, Jake. What's up?
Hey, good afternoon. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. How can we help?
I had a game plan I wanted to run by. I know I could count on you to tell me if it was a stupid butt idea or not. So
I love you, and I'll tell you the truth.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Got $50,000 in consumer debt. I've been putting back this last year for retirement. I've got about $50,000 in retirement accounts. I've got $220 in student loans, and I have a house that I could sell for roughly $5, and I owe $280 on.
That's your personal residence?
Yes, sir.
You a doctor or a lawyer?
So I'm anesthesia.
Good.
A pharmacist. Yeah. Okay.
Thank God. So you're making what, $250,000?
So, I'm basis 190 with overtime's 260, 270.
Almost like I've done this before. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
All right. And what does she make?
So she stays at home with the kids.
Okay.
I've got a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old.
Okay. What's your plan?
So I'm thinking about taking what's in their retirement accounts, wiping out the consumer debt, and selling the house and wiping out the student loans. Renting for a year, saving the 20% for the next house, and doing things right moving forward. I don't know if it's a quick hit reset button or suck it up and buckle down and focus.
Yeah, I got you. Well, I appreciate your motivation. You're willing to do whatever it takes. That's pretty cool. Not many people are.
Yes, sir.
But you don't hate your house, and neither does your wife.
We love the house.
Okay. So I almost never sell the house if I can avoid it, as advice.
Okay.
It's if you can't afford it, we're going to get rid of it. If it's the only way to avoid bankruptcy, we're going to get rid of it. But in your case, you have this huge hole that you're in, and you have this fabulously large shovel.
Right.
So no, I'm going to. In order to keep the house, though, the family's going to commit to a couple of 3 years of beans and rice and no vacations, no lifestyle. Right. We're not living like a rich doctor because we're not. We're a broke doctor.
Right.
So, no, and you never cash out your retirement to pay off debt unless it's to avoid bankruptcy. or unless you have, $2 million and you're 68 years old, you don't have any penalties, we might do it then, but not now. We're not doing this with the penalties. So stop adding to retirement. Get on a beans and rice budget. The two of you commit to completely cleaning up all of your $270,000 worth of debt with your $250,000 income. So let's say we did 90 a year. That's 3 years.
Yes, sir.
And that's what I would do if I woke up in your shoes, because it sets you free for the rest of your life then to invest, and with this fabulous income. And your income's not going to do anything but go up. You've not been out that long.
And how old are your kids again?
5 and 3.
Perfect.
So let me tell you on the back end of this, what this looks like. Your two little kids are going to get to watch you struggle and make do, and y'all make dinner at home even when you're tired. And they're going to take some incredible lessons from this. They're going to change them forever. And so I would tell you, don't rob them of a 3-year learning opportunity watching their dad and mom do really hard things so that
to clean
their
up a
future's
mess.
different. That's
Clean
right.
up your mess.
They get to watch this thing. It's going to be great.
Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
I got a question. I just became just found out I'm going to be a father here in the next year. And,
Congratulations.
Thanks. And I'm kind of freaking out a bit about money. I shouldn't be. I'm not in a hole that much or anything like that. But I got a $30,000 auto loan, and then my wife has $22,000 in student loans.
Well, I'd say that's a bit of a hole.
Yeah, a little bit, but I'm not struggling by no means. When she graduates here in May, the job she's got, they're going to reimburse her $16,000 over the next 5 years for student loans at $3,200 a year. My question is, do we continue to focus on paying those down, or
Yes,
let them?
you need to get rid of them. Don't wait 5 years.
Don't wait. Don't let them pay it.
I'll let them pay some of it while you're working on the rest of it. I mean, pay the car off, pay the student loan off last, so you may get 2 years worth of this or something. But we're not going to stay in debt just so these goobers can give me $3,000.
Okay.
What's your household income now? What do you make?
So I do a lot of traveling for work. My base salary is only supposed to be about 58, but the last 2 years I've made 6 figures, 100,000.
Okay. And what will she be making at the new gig?
She told me 23 an hour working at a hospital.
Okay. All right. So y'all gonna be making 100.5 a year then. Okay.
Yeah.
And plus or minus her overtime, right, if she picks that up. And so, yeah, we'll take advantage of that. But with $150,000 a year, you've got $57,000 in debt. You need to clean it up.
Yes.
Now, immediately. The faster you clean it up and you don't have any payments, the faster you're going to build wealth.
Okay.
Do you have any money saved?
Yes, I got $10,000 in for an emergency fund, and then I have $4,000 in just a normal savings account.
Okay, so in a normal non-baby coming life, I would have told you to clear that $14,000 down to $1,000 and pour it all onto your debt. But technically, since you're having a baby, this is a time to stack up money and stack up what you can. And then once baby is born, take all that money, including that $13,000 that you had sitting there, plus whatever you have saved, and throw it at the debt once the baby gets here.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly, because and I will, your debt snowball is you have two debts that are basically equal or very close to equal, and I'll pay the student loan off last, so that if you get 2 years worth of the $3,200 from her job, we'll take that to throw towards the 27, and just knock that car out really really fast after the baby comes though. Okay.
Yeah, because once we live comfortably just fine on my paycheck alone, but
no, you're not. Quit saying that. You're $57,000 in debt. You're freaking broke. You're not. Okay. You shouldn't. If you're comfortable, you shouldn't be.
Well, and that's the problem. If you feel comfortable with this, you're going to pay off this car, and when the time comes to get a new car, you're going to get a car payment.
Do it again. Yeah, that's not. Don't be comfortable with this. It's bad. Just because you got used to it doesn't mean it's good.
That's a word.
And just because you can pay your bills and make it through Friday but you're not prospering when you got $57,000 in debt hanging around your neck.
Yeah, that's a dirty diaper. It's warm, but it's mine.
Smells bad, but it's mine. Yeah. Oh, my. Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today. Kevin's in Austin, Texas. Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Dave, Jade, good to talk to you guys.
You too. Merry Christmas.
Hey, Merry Christmas, absolutely. I got a quick question for you. So I'm 27, single. I live in Austin, Texas. The home prices out here are astronomical. I'm in baby step 3B. I've saved up about $50,000 for that down payment, and I have about $10,000 in an emergency fund.
You're in good shape. Well done.
I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. My question is that I'm still single, and my good buddy Roy has been saying for a long time, Kevin, ain't no one is going to want to date you when you're driving that old Honda Accord. You need to get you a sports car.
What?
Your good buddy Roy is an idiot.
Oh, man.
I love Roy. I really do.
I do too, but Roy don't know how to pick a woman. If a woman is going to come to you because of the car you drive, you're not going to get much of a woman.
Oh, man.
That's a word.
I pretty much agree with you. Wisdom in a multitude of counsels. I'm going around.
Dude, I was on my third date with my wife in a 1974 Monte Carlo, and I was telling her that I had $2 to my name, and I was telling her someday I'm going to be a millionaire, and we went across the railroad tracks, and the muffler fell off my car. We've been married 43 years.
Wow.
She's been through bankruptcy and been a millionaire twice riding around with that guy with no muffler on his car.
Yep. Absolutely.
Tell Roy not to give any more women advice.
Oh, man.
I agree with you on that. I do. But I also have a little bit of a bug. I'd love to have.
Okay, now we're getting to it. Ain't got anything to do with women or Roy. Okay.
He was blaming it on
you
Roy.
You have a bug.
He exit on.
Okay, now we got it.
I'm a stickler, and I don't spend the money on myself like that. And so I don't know. Is it okay?
So what are you trying to buy?
What you got the fever for? What you got the fever for, Kevin?
Well, I'd like to get me a 2016 Camaro. Is what I'd like to buy. It might have some miles on it, something fun.
Sweet.
What's it cost?
I was thinking about pulling about $30,000 out of the down payment and taking that to go get me a toy. Is what I'm doing.
Well, what do you earn what do you earn annually?
$120.
All right. So.
And you're single. Yeah, we've established that you're looking for a woman. Yeah, okay, that's right. All right. So listen. If you make $120,000 a year, you have $50,000 in cash, and you want to delay, as a single guy, I don't want to buy a house right now. We're going to delay buying a house, and we're buying a car that is used and is way less than 50% of my take-home pay. That fits the Ramsey guidelines.
Yeah, I'm locking in my vote. I like that.
Now, you don't think it would be, because I earmarked that money. I put it in for a down payment.
Well, that's why you earmark it, so it makes you stop and think. You are trading 2 years of buying a house for the Camaro.
Okay.
That's what this earmarking does. It makes you make that decision. And you put both of those on the scale. 2 years on one side of the scale, Camaro on the other side of the scale. But what you're describing is not an out-of-control purchase.
Nope.
Unless you're buying it to get a girl.
No.
Which we've established is a bad plan.
True.
But the car is a sweet car. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a good car. I love the car. But it's not going to make you happy. It's a reasonable vehicle purchase in your situation. It is going to delay. What you're saying is I'm trading 2 years of my purchase on my home goal for this purchase of this car. What are you driving now?
It's a 2014 Honda. There's nothing wrong with it mechanically. It's
What's it worth?
Just a mom car. About $10,000.
Okay, so you only really need $20,000.
Yeah, that'd be true.
Oh, that's good. Look, I'm excited for you. Enjoy the car.
Okay. All right. I appreciate you guys. I got to pray about it. Wisdom in a multitude of counsels. Y'all are one.
But don't buy it to get chicks. You'll get the wrong chick.
You're all right.
You'll get one you don't want.
You got it.
Shallow women are not handy. Shallow men are not handy. And people who pick dates out based on cars are the definition of shallow.
Look, it's not going to hurt him, though. Let's be honest, Dave.
no. Shallow co-hosts.
I'm just saying it's
oh my gosh.
It's not hurting his case. It doesn't necessarily help his case, but it's definitely not hurting his case. That's all I'm saying. Women, weigh in and
please
weigh in those comments. It's not hurting him.
Please do not pick a date based on the car they drive.
The car doesn't make the man.
Please.
The man makes the car.
Please. God help us all.
I'm just saying.
I know.
Same
I
guy,
heard what you're saying.
If he rolls up and, his Honda Accord wasn't bad. I don't know why he thought that was
That's a Jesus car. Jesus said they're all in one accord.
All right.
You just can't argue with this.
If he wanted to buy a Tesla, you wouldn't have been on board, though.
If he wanted to buy a Tesla, but a Tesla is not a chick car. Not even close. A Camaro might be. I mean,
not a 2016.
Oh, yes, it is.
It is it?
It's a boss car. Yeah.
Well, then I stand my claim. He is not hurting his case.
He's not hurting his case. But don't let that be your motivation. It's
right.
a bad thing. It's a really bad idea. If people are impressed by what you drive instead of who you are, you have the wrong crowd you're running with, especially the wrong woman you're dating. So just you got to get paid. Listen, when you reach the point that you're driving a car because you want the car, that's when you're making proper car purchases. When you're trying to impress somebody at a stoplight you'll never meet, that's when you do stupid butt stuff with cars. Mm-hmm. You think everybody else is looking at you. Oh, come on. Nobody gives a crap. Mm-hmm.
I know,
at the
right?
End of the day.
Nobody's looking.
Really. Nobody. And if she's looking, I don't want her. I'm just saying. That's how that works. And that's official dad jokes right there, all wrapped into one. Official boomer insights. And so into dating.
Boomer insights.
Boomer dating insights. That's what that is. We're going to have a new segment on the show, James, next year. Boomer insights on dating. I'm sure we could get a sponsor like Depends. Create your free every dollar budget today. The simplest way to budget for your life. Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today. When you narrow it down to, I've got just one shot.
Yeah.
And if I miss that one shot on any decision that you're making, you are now rationalizing the decision because it is not a fact that you only have one shot. So if I don't get this house, I'm never going to get a house. If I don't buy this car, I'm never going to get a car. God only put one person on the entire planet for me to marry, and if I miss that one, I'm going to not be married. Bullcrap, okay? Just bad thinking skills. So anytime that you allow anxiety, the stress and strain of life, the tragedies of life, the fact you've been fighting cancer or anything else to narrow you down to one singular decision, Rachel's point, it was that you're going to make a bad decision.
Yeah. And we find that a lot with people because money is a tool, in your life that you're using. And when life is hard or life feels out of control or life feels like, oh my gosh, this one thing, then you use that tool money to go and
try to get the control back.
And try to get that control back. Yeah. And so there is a patience to slow down. Mm-hmm. And to say, let me gather some more options, option A, B, and C. And out of that, then you can start making, okay, maybe the answer still is A for whatever your situation is, but at least you've researched and you've thought and you've taken time to look at B and C. Because man, because I don't know, we talk to people all the time and it was like, we're in a house and we shouldn't have bought it, but we just thought it was a really good deal. We didn't think we could find another deal like this. So we got in it and turns out it wasn't, you get in this mindset and it's just it's really dangerous.
So a couple of bad decisions are one of the primary things that steal your wealth. So decision-making principles are important. So decision-making principle number one, if you think there's only one or two things to do, you haven't spent enough time gathering up options. Options are power. Options are informative. Options cause you to really think clearly. And so, like the people that call in, they go, well, we've got mold in our house and the only other house that we can live in is $4,000 a month and we make $5,000. So do we buy a house and go bankrupt or do we stay in the moldy house and kill our children? And like you have two stupid butt options, and I'm supposed to choose between these two. C, none of the above. keep looking. You haven't figured it out yet, And so that's the kind of thing we're talking about. We get that call, actually. So that's a call that's come in more than once over the years. And so it's just because you justify the crap out of doing something you don't need to do.
Well, and fear will do that too.
Yes.
Did you hear that in your example of mold in the house, which is very real? But also her husband in the last call, he said, "What if you relapse?" She said that,
fear.
and there's a level of fear there. And
so facts, John Deloney says, when you're facing trauma, facts are your friends.
Yep.
And facts are more and more and more options.
And that's a plural, facts.
Number two decision-making principle. Slow down to the extent of the size of the decision. Quit spending all your calories on nothing decisions. Some people spend more time deciding which gum to purchase in the gas station than they do which car to purchase. You spent your calories on the wrong thing. The bigger the decision, the more time. And then, I can't, I'm frozen with indecision, Dentine, or Eclipse. But I impulsed a Porsche. It's like, this is the backwards stuff right here. So the size of the decision means you need to slow down and have more and more options. And then the length of and patience, your pulse rate needs to drop. If you got house fever, go take a cold shower. Your pulse rate needs to drop. You're about to do something stupid because you can just hear it. You can hear the anxiety in people's voices when they call in here with these things, and not just her. She's a sweet girl. She was nervous as part of it too.
Oh no, but there's a high level of emotion.
Then
for
circle back one more thing on her call, because I really need to get this out here for her to hear and her husband to hear, but also everybody else. Okay, the option of taking your $128,000 and putting it into a spec house, building a house from the ground up on a piece of real estate and flipping it immediately, a house that's speculation, builder spec house, is one option. But let me just tell you, I grew up in the construction business. I've had my real estate license since I was 18, and I'm older than dirt. So I've been doing this stuff a long, long time. I can tell you for sure that if you have builder skills, you show up on time, you finish the project of renovation or new construction on time, and you build a budget and stick to the budget, you are an unusual animal. You are very, very marketable, because most people in the construction business can't even show up, much less finish, and their numbers are so screwed that they piss everybody off they're dealing with, because they don't show up on time, they miss their numbers, and they don't finish on time. And so they never get repeat business because they make everybody mad that they're dealing with. If you'll just show up on time, you can own the world. And finish on time and hit your numbers, you can own the world. So that young man, if he can do the deal he thinks he can do renovations and make $300,000 a year.
Yeah.
He can grow a renovation and new and custom housing business, build decks, put porches on the back, whatever it is. He can make $1 bazillion if he has the skill set that she says he has, and I don't doubt it.
Yeah.
And if he can actually pull off projects, show up on time, take a bath, and finish the project on time and hit your numbers, you got no competition, because nobody else in that space hardly does it. Very few do. And the ones that do end up being custom home builders for the rich.
Yeah.
Because
they're excellent at what they do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so you got so much potential out there if you do that. I think you could take that you can take $128,000 minus $36,000 worth of credit card debt, use that to do some renovations, parlay your way into $300,000 in cash, and go do you a couple of these specs later. If your numbers are right and I'm wrong, because I think your numbers are unrealistic, but if I'm wrong about that, which I'm happy to be wrong, I hope I'm wrong. I hope you make 100% margin on a construction project, but it's very unusual. Doesn't happen. Okay. So if you can do that, then you can do what I'm talking about with what's left over after you pay the credit card debt off.
Yep.
And that's your third option.
That's right. And it's a classic, too, example, which happens in so many families and so many marriages, is you kind of got your realist and your dreamer, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, oh, just give me this shot, right? And not that all dreamers are wrong, because sometimes it's right. But also, I would say to him, listen to your wife. The emotional space in your home, bring the peace of not owing anyone anything.
Yeah.
Bring the peace of having savings in the bank. Like, bring the peace, and then let's focus on everything else.
And let's go grow this construction business.
For a wife that's been sick and kids that are sick, like all of it. I'm like, oh,
yeah, the shame idea that I spent the money our family was going to get rich on to save me from cancer, and I'm ashamed. That's ridiculous. I mean, no.
Yes.
No. So, no, your family's going to be fine, even though you had cancer. Create your free Every Dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life. When you get desperate, afraid, or angry, the higher thinking parts of your brain shut down, and you don't make good decisions. So I have found in my life, if I get greedy, if I get afraid, if I get desperate, right after that I get stupid. And right after I get stupid, I get broke. And so that's what's happening in the housing market right now. Because, oh, God, the house prices are up, and oh, God, the interest rates went up, and oh, God, I'm never going to be able to get a house. Oh, God. And once your brain starts doing that, you're getting ready to do something stupid.
Party's over. There's going to be a lot of regret, and they call into this show and go, Dave, I did something stupid.
Dave,
help me.
Where were you 3 years ago when I was doing something stupid? I was sitting right here. That's where I've been for 30 years.
They always find the show.
I haven't moved.
I'm still here.
And I'm still telling you the same things about money because these principles that we teach are timeless. Now, we teach people to get out of debt and stay out of debt. When it comes to a house, it's the only debt we don't yell at you for, and we always have told you, and we still will tell you, even with the house prices so high, to get a 15-year fixed rate where the payment is no more than a fourth of your take-home pay. Now, why do we do that? Just because we're killjoys? Just because we don't want life to be good for you? No, we do that because we love you.
We care about your financial future more than that banker does, more than the mortgage companies do.
We're not making money off of this. Off of you getting a mortgage or not getting a mortgage, or you getting a house or not getting a house. It's okay. We're okay. You're okay. But here's the thing. If you get in crazy mode because of what's going on out there, you're going to buy too much house. You're going to put it on a 30-year, and you're going to be stuck in the middle class or lower middle class loop. All in the name of buying a house, because buying a house is financially smart. If I can't get one now, I'll never get one.
Well, they're throwing money away, Dave. They're throwing money away on rent. That's the argument.
Calm down. It sounds like a weather forecaster when there's a tornado warning. That's the way your brain sounds. Oh, God! You know.
That's their Super Bowl. That's where they get to create all the fear.
Oh, man. So, yeah, and when your brain is doing that, so, and people do it when, the first time I ever heard it was like, okay, I live in California. Math doesn't work in California. Well, we kind of know that, but yes, it does.
For different reasons.
A lot of psychedelic drugs involved in this, but yes, it does work. Yeah. So here's the thing. Speaking of California math, CBS News is reporting one of the biggest hurdles in buying a home is coming up with a hefty down payment. California has a new program to, in quotes, help first-time home buyers jump that hurdle. What do you think, George?
Oh, boy.
Keep reading. You got it.
California's Forgivable Equity Builder Loan allows first-time home buyers who have enough income for a monthly mortgage payment to borrow up to 10% of a home's purchase price to buy a house outright. The loan has an interest rate of 0%, but borrowers who don't occupy the home for at least 5 years may have to repay the loan. What a concept.
So you can borrow your down payment at 0%. From California. The new effort comes as real estate prices have hit record highs in California, and rising interest rates have pushed monthly payments up hundreds of dollars. This is the way people's brains sound. I'm telling you, I know exactly how your brain sounds, because this is how mine sounds right before I do some stupid butt stuff. It sounds like a beagle chasing a rabbit.
Is that what it sounds like?
I don't know, something like that. But I mean,
That's
your
close.
brain is shutting down.
But
a
the numbers on
standard
this
down
hurt.
payment of 20% for a home in California could cost upwards of $100,000. Well, no kidding.
That's the thing. If you get $1 million home and they're letting you borrow up to 10% at 0% interest, so they're letting you borrow $100,000, you still then have to go get a $900,000 mortgage, and that's if your income qualifies.
Now, that's assuming you qualify. But here's the problem, okay? You can't look out there 5 years in the future and know what stupid butt stuff the state of California is going to do that makes you want to leave. And you can't leave.
Because then you have to repay that loan.
Ta-da. Here is the thing. So even crazy people that believe in debt are saying don't do it, aren't they, George?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Credit Karma came out and said, this is probably a bad idea.
If Credit Karma is saying don't borrow the money, this tells you don't borrow the money. I mean, this is like Jack Daniels telling you not to drink bourbon, okay? I mean, it's some bad bourbon, right?
It's got to be bad.
Oh, my gosh.
And I looked into this. Your income has to be less than 80% of the area median income. And so they're saying if you're broke enough, you can then afford all of this. And like I said with the numbers, housing in California, not cheap. So even with the borrowed money, they're allowing people to borrow way more to get into homes they can't afford.
Okay, so these are less than 80, so you're 8/10 of the median, the middle income of the area.
To qualify.
So this is middle income or lower middle income people only that are going to get in this trap. Yeah, which are the people that can't get a house. Oh, God, you can't get a house. Listen, I'm making fun of you because I know how your brain sounds. I know that some of you have a valid concern about buying a home in this market. It's scary out there. House prices have shot up like crazy. All the indications of all the data from the industry is it's going to calm down. No, it's not going to come down. It's going to calm down. And data that George and I saw in a meeting yesterday was that in 2020, house prices went up 32%. In 21, they went up, what was it?
18?
No, it was 14, I think.
Okay.
And they're expecting them this year to go up 7%.
So it's slowing down.
So the rate of, and the average house price year is about 4%, okay, over the last 25, 30 years. So we've had this huge spike post-pandemic. The spike is tapering off. There will continue to be an appreciation, an increase in value, but it will be more reasonable. And no, you're not going to get priced out of the market if you continue to grow your career, you continue to manage money well. Are you going to buy a house right now? Probably not. You might be too broke to buy a house right now. You might be too broke to buy a car right now. You might be too broke to go on vacation right now. So don't do it.
But Dave, I got to live my life.
Yeah. YOLO, baby. YOLO. I'm serious. All this stuff is temporary. And so calm your butt down. Don't use the emotions of the current inflationary cycle to cause you to dive off the deep end into a pool with no water. It's just don't do it. Don't do it. Calm down. This is The Ramsey Show.